So next up, we move on to scenario 10, barrels out of bond, point 1, open the gate.
Open the gate. Okay, so believe it or not, this is when the dwarves are in their barrels coming out of Mirkwood on their way to Lake Town. So this scenario is played out both in the forest river and on its banks. The river needs to be nice and wide, at least 6 inches, and have a few points where models can cross it, either with small bridges or overhanging rocks. The banks are fairly dense with rocky outcrops and trees, so ensure you add plenty of cover where models can hide. So you're better playing a 4x6 board,
Okay.
which is quite cool. Sort of the river going down the end.
River.
Yeah, the barrels start at one end, and then you've got a section where the lever is that like at the other end.
Yeah. So this is where in the film they've just come out of Thranduil's halls. They're going around the river.
Yeah.
The guards alert the guys on the wall that they've escaped, and they close the gate.
Yeah.
And then they've got to Feely or Keely, I can't remember which one, jumps up, pulls the lever, and gets shot with the Mogul arrow.
Yeah, that's right. So the participants do the... You get Legolas Greenleaf, Prince of Mirkwood, Tariel, 10 Mirkwood Rangers, 10 Palace Guard Captain. The company either start on, in case of Bilbo, or in the barrels for the dwarves. So Bilbo starts on a barrel and the dwarves start in.
His model, he's actually sat on a barrel.
So if you ever purchase the dwarves and the barrels, this is a great opportunity to use them, because it's a cool kit, but I thought of the practical use of them, I never bothered.
No, I never picked it up either.
But they are, I can't get me wrong, they are beautiful collector's pieces, and they do look great. So it would be good to use them in scenario play. So, the objectives for the game, let's go through the evil, sorry. There's Bolg, Narzug, and Fimble the Hunter. 24 Hunter Orcs and 12 Hunter Orcs on Fellwargs.
Okay.
It's quite a lot for evil.
Yeah.
The starting positions, the good player places the dwarves and Bilbo in barrels in the river within 3 inches of the western board edge, and the Palace Guard anywhere within 6 inches of the eastern board edge. The evil player then deploys their models more than 24 inches away from the barrels. The other elves don't start on the board, but will be available later. Straight away, because I've not read this, but I like the concept of how it's planned.
Your forces are split. You've got the dwarves starting one end of the field, elves on the other half, and then in the middle you've got all the hunter orcs.
Yes, because they're 24 inches away,
Yeah.
and obviously if the dwarves are coming towards the far side, that gap will get closed very quickly.
Yes.
So where does Legolas turn up? Okay, objectives. The good player wins if Bilbo and 9 or more dwarves move off the board via the eastern board edge. If Bilbo is slain, but 9 or more barrels exit the board, the game is a draw. Otherwise, the evil side wins.
Kill Bilbo.
Kill Bilbo, so that's tough, isn't it? Okay, that's interesting. So, special rules, there's a few of these. Bobbing along, each turn, move each barrel d6 plus 3 inches down the river. So, an average of 7, really?
So 4 plus 3, 7. So you go 7, 6 and 7, 6 and so on.
So making again down a 72-inch board, so you're going to go a good 12 turns here or so before without combat. Providing you move d6 plus 3 inches down the river, providing they don't have an evil model upon them. Barrels may also move up to d3 inches north or south as they move. Wow. A barrel that touches the riverbank halts immediately. Next turn, roll a d6 on a 4+, it may move as normal, otherwise it remains where it is. Roll again next turn instead. Barrels are moved by the good players and are always moved at the end of the move phase, once all models, both good and evil, have moved. The order in which the barrels are moved is chosen by the good player.
I don't really see a chance for barrels to get stuck then. You'd have to do that yourself.
It's an option. So you may move north or south in addition. So
well, yeah. But
you don't.
But you would never. You because you're in control of the barrels. Surely you'd always.
Oh, but this is the thing. So the river's a bit windy, so you have to move. Do you move east? So you move in a straight line. But then, say the curvature of the river.
But you can deviate,
go
don't you?
Yes. Suppose if you're here and you wanted to get like a 5 to come down.
It depends how. Barrels may also move. So it's as they move. So you should, in theory, because it's as you're moving. If you move in inches, you just make sure that you.
Oh yeah, have a bit.
You should never hit with good steering.
Yes. Okay, that's fair. I suppose it's just whether there is an anomaly, possibly. Okay,
so
so
you probably just because everyone wants to be in that you want to take the perfect path.
Yeah.
To avoid corners, so everyone just clogs it up and then so you're kind of crashing into each other.
It's a bit like one of those games when you've got to go.
Yeah, keep flying. Sort of
that's
thing.
it.
Then drop, and then fly up again, and then drop. Yeah.
Okay.
Flappy Birds.
Yeah, that's the one, isn't it? Yeah. Barrel rider. An infantry model may ride upon the barrel using the following rules. An infantry model may move onto a barrel by moving into base contact with it and passing a jump test. A model in the water can climb onto a barrel by moving into base contact with it and passing a climb test. Only a single model may charge an enemy on or in a barrel each turn by passing a jump or climb test to move into it.
So many tests.
I know.
Oh.
And this is
how to slow a game down.
Very much so. And this is depending on whether the charging model is on the ground or in the water. A model on a barrel that loses a fight will automatically be pushed into the water as it backs away. Models inside a barrel cannot back away and count as trapped if they lose a combat.
Oh, okay. Grim. Got some to rocks.
Oh god, yeah, stroke 4. Okay, in this scenario, you will need to be using the swing rules in the Hobbit and Unexpected rules manual.
Oh, so many tests.
So you wanted to use those dwarves and barrels, guys. So the barrels, a model in a barrel can be shot at as normal, except that the barrel isn't in the way.
Cool.
However, any models that can shoot enemy models on barrels without taking an in the way test.
Wait, so
if you're
in shooting out, it's fine.
Yes.
If they're shooting in, it's got in the way. Okay.
Yeah, but if you shoot one that's on top as opposed to in, there's no in the way.
Right. Need markers for this.
Yeah, I think so. Evil models can either shoot the barrels, or attack them in close combat instead of the occupants. Barrels have a defense of 6 and 3 wounds, and are always considered to be trapped. I suppose if
one hunter orc jumps on a barrel, just chop the barrel.
Yeah, 4 5s, 3 5s,
3 5s from 4 dice.
Feint? Could you feint against
Yeah,
it?
of course you can.
If a barrel loses all its wounds, remove it from play. The dwarf inside is too tired or too injured to fight on. So, if a barrel loses all of its wounds, remove it from play.
So is that how you kill dwarves?
The dwarf inside is too tired or too injured to fight on.
I'm gonna just attack this barrel.
So you just kill the barrels over the dwarves?
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe it'll come up.
Yeah, I suppose. Okay, I don't know.
I don't like that.
No, yeah, because...
Thorin, I'm not going to fight him, I'll hit his barrel!
Yeah, there's always trapped.
4 dice in a 5s to kill Thorin.
Yeah, oh wow. Yeah, that's interesting.
Not keen.
Clarify, please, Jay.
Yeah. Jay Troke, help.
So, the gate. A Blairhorn has ordered the river gate shut. Until it is reopened, any barrels that move into contact with the gate will stop and move no further. The good player may nominate a single dwarf whose barrel is touching the shore to dismount from his barrel and attempt to open the gate at the start of their move phase. To open it, the dwarf must be touching the gate lever in the fight phase, but not engaged in a fight. At the end of the phase, the gate is immediately opened, and the barrels can begin to move again. At least there's no roll on that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If the dwarf jumps back into the river, we imagine he lands back in his empty barrel.
Cool. Just like at the end of the scene.
Yeah. Which is cool. So, final rule, the King's Rangers. Legolas and Tauriel have been dispatched to bring back the dwarves. Legolas, Tauriel and the Mirkwood Rangers move onto the board from the western board edge as reinforcements at the end of the second good move phase.
God, they'll never catch him.
Not when the barrels are going that fast.
No. Especially when they want to move 3 to shoot.
Yeah, very true. Interesting.
Yeah, and designer's notes for this one are play with 3 players. One's the dwarves, one's the elves, one's the orcs, just to keep things flowing simply.
There's a thing about if the dwarves escape as described above, the dwarves player is the winner. If the dwarves are kept within the gate and Bolg, Narzug and Fimble are all slain, the elves win. The evil player's objectives don't change.
Yeah, that's a bonus thing if you're playing with 3 players.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool that there's 3 players involved.
I think I like that for the scenario.
Yeah.
Some of them, yeah. A lot of special rules.
A lot of tests. And I would like some clarification on what happens when a barrel breaks.
So the dwarves just drown. They're not then jump on another one.
Yeah. Surely they'd be placed and then be like, I'll just grab onto this barrel. And I'm sure in that film there are tons of empty barrels floating down the river because you see people like
going from one to the other sort of thing.
The house ruled that maybe.
Yeah, but I think so far from the scenarios that we've read, it feels very much like the film.
It does,
which is great.
They've captured the imagery of the film
Yes.
very nicely.
I agree. It's cool, and then so that leads on to
Barrel Out of Bonds Part 2.
woohoo!
Down the Forest River.
Is Legolas gonna be able to jump on dwarves' heads in this?
Best
do
be
you
able to.
think? Yeah.
So layout, similar to the previous scenario, 72 inches by 48 inches. Starting positions, Thorin's company start the game in their barrels, in the water, up to 12 inches from the western board edge. None of the evil models, along with Legolas, Tauriel and the Mirkwood Rangers, start the game on the board. They instead enter play as reinforcements as the game goes on.
Okay, nice peaceful start then.
Yeah. So participants. Legolas, Tauriel, 10 Mirkwood Rangers, 10 Palace Guard Captain. The company either start on, in the case of Bilbo, or in a barrel for the dwarves. Evil models are Bolg, Narzug, Fimbul the Hunter, 24 Hunter Orcs, 12 Hunter Orcs and Felwargs, the exact participants of the previous battle,
Yes.
which means that you don't need to collect extra things to
Woohoo,
redo
that's
this, which is always nice.
Yeah.
Objectives. With the dwarves' daring escape all but accomplished, the Mirkwood Elves are no longer concerned with capturing them as much as wiping out the intruding orcs. For the good player to win, 9 or more members of Thorin's company must exit the river from the eastern board edge, in or on, in the case of Bilbo, their barrels. And the elves must successfully capture at least one evil hero. For the evil side to win, they must kill more than 4 members of Thorin's company before this takes place. Special rules, bobbing along and barrel riders, see part 1. I don't have to read that.
Yes. Hey.
The Wild Hunt. As Thorin's company's barrel down. Oh, it's good pun. As Thorin's company barrel down the forest river, elves and orcs rush to the scene, turning the chase into a bloody melee on the riverbanks. At the end of the first good move phase, the good player rolls a d6 for each good model not yet in play. On a 1, the evil player may choose on which board edge that model will enter play. On a 2 to 3, the model enters on the southern board edge. On a 4 to 5, they enter from the northern board edge. And on a 6, the good player chooses on which board edge the models enter play. Having determined the point where the model enters, follow the rules for reinforcement as explained in the main rules manual. So that's that they may move on, may act normally but may not charge.
Yeah.
In the first evil move phase, they won't actually be any evil models on the board itself. The evil player rolls to determine whether the models will enter play as described previously.
Okay, sure.
This one we keep alive. The sudden attack of Bolg's orcs so close to Thranduil's palace is a cause of grave concern to the Mirkwood Elves. At a softly uttered command from Legolas, the elves prepare to take a prisoner.
Softly muttered.
Softly muttered. Softly uttered.
Oh, uttered.
Yeah. When an evil hero is slain in a fight by an elf, the good player may opt to take them as a prisoner. Instead of removing the model's last wound, treat the model as though it has been affected by the paralysed magical power. If the model is still under the influence of paralyse at the end of the game, it is captured as per the objectives listed previously on the page.
Cool.
Okay? And kill the dwarves. As the fight continues, Bolg's hunters pour into the area in alarming numbers. Whenever an evil warrior is slain, put it to one side. On a 3+, it may re-enter play immediately. Move it onto the board edge using the rules as described in the Wild Hunt special rule, following the rules for reinforcements.
Okay. So that's cool. So the dwarves, I suppose they are fighting as well in a way, but they're just more trying to get down the river.
Yeah. And designer's note.
Yep.
In this scenario, the good player needs to keep the dwarves moving down the river as quickly as they can in order to have as many of them escape the board as possible. The evil player not only needs to stop them doing this, but also prevent the heroes being taken as prisoners. If the evil player's heroes are captured, then they need to work at reviving those heroes who are.
Okay.
So if the dwarves start 12 inches on,
Yeah.
and are moving 7 averagely,
Yeah.
it's unlikely there's going to be many rounds of combat
No, especially with the maelstrom of
where they turn up.
the good and evil, because they
Yeah,
could just
yeah.
hold each other up in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
I think it's quite cool. Do you think, with this, so if you go take a pure Bolg and Hunter Orcs, they get the +1 shooting? Which means that you could take...
I don't think it would apply.
Oh, okay, because that would be quite... Yeah, because it's an army, isn't it? Army list. Just in terms of, could you just sit back and shoot the dwarves as best you could?
Shoot the barrels.
Shoot the barrels.
Take in the ways, sure.
Yeah.
No, in the ways.
Heroic accuracy.
I'll just
hit the barrels.
I'll just shoot the barrels. Screw that, it's got a profile. Oh dear. And as ever, be sure to comment, like, share and subscribe.
Support your Hobbit hosts in the links below.
Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Support your Hobbit hobby.
And happy strategy battle gaming, everyone.